Hey folks, good to see you. I know I promised you a video and it's taken me a while to get to this point, but here's our video. Today we're going to be looking at Raid Shadow Legends, and this is going to be a video that is just touching the surface. There's so much to this game. It's incredibly in-depth and cool because it's free. And there are ways to play the game where you have to pay for it, but I'm not about that. I'm all about finding a way to enjoy the game for spending as little as possible. Free would be even better. So, Raid Shadow Legends is free. And it was originally intended to be a mobile game, meaning something you would play on your laptop, not necessarily laptop, but your cell phone, your iPad. And it works really well under those circumstances. But they've found a way to port it to the PC, and that's my realm. I like to play games on the PC. I do play it on my iPad, and I have an account that I'm doing playing on that one. But on the PC, I have here, as you can see, the old timer, and he's level 34, and the maximum is 100. And so obviously, I've not been playing this account very long. It even keeps track of how many days you've logged in, and right now I'm on day 12. I just completed day 11, and each day you log in, you get a little reward here. They make sure that you log in every day and give you a little reward for doing so. And so I know a lot of this looks like gibberish and doesn't make a whole lot of sense at this point, but I'm going to walk you through it and keep it as simple as possible. And this is obviously not something I'm going to be able to cover in one 10 or 15 minute video. There's going to be a lot to this, but it does bring me something important. I'll be approaching this at a very slow pace, and that might be perfect for a lot of you, and others are like, okay, I see the game looks kind of cool. What do I do now? What's the next step? And let's get going. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Well, there are some guys that I follow who are experts at the game, who have a much more accelerated pace, and they're more than happy to help you with all kinds of really powerful and great information. And I'll be including their links down in the description down below. But right off the top, I can tell you that I follow Chosen. He is very knowledgeable with tons of resources, spreadsheets, you name it. There's so much you can do, and he's been a huge help for that. I also follow Salt and Ash. And again, I'll put those links to their videos down below. And they've, between the three of them, hundreds of videos on just this one game, Raid Shadow Legends. So that tells you how much is involved in this game. So, where do I start? Well, from the very beginning, God created man. No, when the game was first thrust into my device, I found that it wasn't as overwhelming as it could have been, mainly because I like role-playing games and slow-paced games such as this. And you're in charge of taking some heroes through a number of different dungeons and locations, beating bad guys, getting loot, putting the loot on your heroes to make them even more powerful. You can summon a whole bunch of new heroes. There's just tons and tons and tons. So let's take a look over here at my champions. So this is my most powerful guy to point. His name is Kale, and you can see I've got two of him. But he's one of your possible starters. You've got Kale, you've got Elhain, you've got Gaelic, and who's the other one? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But they're all very good. I found Kale to be the most powerful of the four, and mainly because of his what they call a kit, the abilities and spells that he has available to him. So right here, they call this slot right here the A1, and his A1 is Dark Bolt. You click on that and you'll see that it attacks one enemy, has an 80% chance of placing a 2.5% poison debuff for 2 turns. So that means every turn it will do 2.5% of the monster's health in damage due to poison. And it will do that for 2 turns. So by the end of the second turn, you will have taken off 5% of his health for each one of these poisons that he has on him. You also have in the A2 here, Acid Rain. And this is on what's called a 3-turn cooldown. So A1, you can cast it every time it's your turn to do something. And once you've used these other abilities, this will be what you have left. Acid Rain is a good opener when you have many enemies that you're facing at the same time, because it attacks all of them, all at the same time. And it has an extra 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Fill the turn meter of this champion by 25% for each enemy killed. So, that may sound like French to a lot of you. Turn meter is, it measures how quickly you go. And so every time you attack with your Dark Bolt and your A1, and then you have to wait. Well, while you're waiting, other heroes are taking their turns, the bad guys are taking their turns, and you'll have a turn meter that is slowly filling. Once it's full, then you can move on to your next attack, whether it be Acid Rain or Disintegrate, which is also one of his abilities here. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, and this is attacks 4 times at random. Has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. So you see that this is twice as powerful as the A1. So the A3, Disintegrate, would be the skill you want to start with if you're going to go for the poison early on. And it attacks 4 times at random. So if you're, say, you're facing one mob, you're attacking the clan boss, and we'll talk about that. That's a whole nother thing. It's pretty intense. But if you're attacking the clan boss and you want to open with this because you want to get those poisons out as quickly as possible, you'll up to 4 times hit, and there's a 40% chance of placing the big poison on him. So conceivably, you could have 5% poisons on that monster, and that will last for 2 turns. So what is that? 20% damage over 2 turns. So 40%, over half the almost half the damage or half the health of a mob could be done in by the end of your second turn. Now, a lot of characters, a lot of heroes have what's called an aura. And so if he is the leader of a group of heroes going in to do something, he's going to have an aura. And this one increases ally hit points in all battle by 15%. So if he's in a group with these 4, or these other 3, and he is the head guy, he's the one in charge, they're going to get a bonus to their health of 15%. And that will last through the entire battle. All right. So you know a little bit about Kale. There's, again, a lot more that we can cover. Artifacts, what he's wearing, what masteries he's got. Again, a lot to cover. We'll get to it eventually. But I do want to show you what it's like to watch Kale in battle. So from the home screen, this is where we start. This is our home base, our bastion, as they call it. And we want to start a fight. We come down here to battle. And there are a lot of options here. What do we want to do? Do we want to attack the campaign, tackle a dungeon, do some faction wars, arena where we play against other players, or attack the clan boss? Now, I've already used my clan boss keys for the day, and maybe we'll get a chance to do that later. So we won't be doing the clan boss this time, so let's try some campaign fights. So, there are 12 locations on this map, and each location is made up of 7 different levels, 7 different stages. And each stage has requirements. They have a number of beasts that you've got to best. And more than that, there are 4 different iterations of this same map. So there's the normal setting. So the first time you come through it and you're trying to figure out how to play this game, the first dungeon you'll come across here is Kale Castle. And you'll come in here and you'll try to beat these guys. And looking at them now, level 2, level 3, ooh, level 10, ooh. Yeah, when you're first starting off, it's a little bit more of a challenge. But I've already beaten all of these locations. In fact, you can see there are 3 stars possible for each of these locations. And I have beaten them all sufficiently and gotten 3 stars on all of them. So I've defeated the normal campaign. Time to move on to hard. And this is where I am now. I have defeated 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. I've gotten 3 stars all the way through the 6th dungeon here at Palace of Aravia. I'm working on Tilshire, running into some issues because being quite successful until I got to stage 6, and then I kind of run into a buzzsaw. So I'm working on that. But I do want to show you what Kale can do when it comes to his abilities and working with group mates. Now, as you can see here, I've got a lot of other champions that I can draw from, and I'm trying to get them all leveled up as high as possible. Maximum level is 60, so right now Kale, my leader, is 50. You can see his aura shows up here, increases the ally hit points in all battles by 15%. Now, every time I win a fight, every time I beat this lady here with all of her minions, I gain experience. Well, right now he's maxed at 50 out of 50, so I've got to find a way to level him up to 6 stars, and I'll go through all of that in a little bit because there's a lot that goes into that. But right now, at this point, he is maxed out at level 50. I want to help out some other heroes that are on the path that, right now they're low in level and could use some improvement. So going through here, I see that he could use some help. She could use some help. Who else do I want to level up here? And let's take, oh yeah. All right, so these 3 guys. So he's in charge. They all get that 15% hit point bonus. And I'm going to attack here. Click start. And we launch into the beginning of this fight. Now, right down here you've got a little button that says auto. And that means if I click on that, it'll do everything on its own. I don't have to interfere at all. It'll run the fights automatically, which sounds kind of cool. But in learning how to do the game, it's important that you have a clear understanding of what all of the abilities are of our kit here. So he is going first because his speed is higher. He'll be going probably second. You can tell that because this little bar down here is second most full, then here, and then all of these guys will go. So we have first chance. And he's highlighted, so he gets to attack first. I like his A2, his Acid Rain. That attacks all of the enemy and does a lot of damage. And you'll see these arrows. Now, the double arrow like that means he has a good benefit. His affinity is stronger against theirs, and we'll talk about that as we get to him. But to do this attack, I click on that to activate it, and then click on any one of these 4, and it will attack, ba-boom, all of them. All right, see? That's why I like Kale. One shot, took them all out. Now, he gets to go again in the next round. There are 3 rounds. The second round, he gets to attack first again because he has the best speed. But the A2 has already been used on the previous fight, so I've got to wait 2 more turns before I can use it again. But I can use his A3, which is Disintegrate, attacks 4 times at random. So I can attack any one of these guys. This guy, he looks the toughest, so I'm going to start with him, and it will attack 4 times at random. It might do all 4 against him, or it might hit all 4 of them, or any combination. So let's see what we do here. We got it activated. He's ready to go. Click on him. Boom. All right. So attack 2 of them. Did tons of damage to this poor guy. He just bit the dust, and he's down. And you'll notice here he's got a poison icon on him, and that's the big poison. That's the 5% for 2 turns. So this little area here that's highlighted, it means he's got a shield. So this shield is going to absorb some of this damage on his turn when it comes up. But right now it's this guy's turn, And he's got two abilities. The A1, the Mystic Chill, attacks one enemy 3 times. Or we can go to this A2, attacks one enemy 2 times and has a chance of stealing a buff. Now, looking over here, hey, he's got a buff. It'd be kind of cool if he had that. So let's try that, see if we can steal the buffs. We've activated his Vigor Theft, attack, boom, stole the buff. Look at that. Now he's got the shield. Oh, and he brought up his shield again for himself, so that's good. Now we're down here to her turn. Her regular one, attack one enemy with a chance of provoking, which means basically getting them to attack her. A2 attacks one enemy 3 times with a chance of getting an extra turn. Or A3 attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 15% of the damage dealt. Well, she's at full health. I don't think we need to heal. I like the idea of attacking one enemy 3 times and a chance to go again. So let's pick on this guy a little bit more. 1, 2. All right, got 2 out of the 3, and did not get the extra turn. Now we're up to his turn up here. Now he's got A1, just straightforward attack. You might get a second attack if the first one is a critical hit. Second one, attacks all enemies. Hey, look at that. We've got 3 enemies to pick from, so that could be good. And places an increased crit buff on all the allies for 1 turn. And the last one here is attacks one enemy, places a heal reduction for 2 turns. That means if they try to heal themselves, it'll only do 50% of the heal. But I like this idea here, having multiple attacks. Boom, got all 3 of them, and we all have a crit chance. Now their attack, and all went after Kale. Oh, going after him as well, but we survived. Now you'll see that both of his A2 and A3 have both been used, so now we're down to just his A1. And I want to get rid of this guy. He's scary looking. Boom, done. Down to his A1, because his A2 has already been used, but he's got a chance to freeze, which could be kind of cool. The next person to attack from the enemies is this young lady right here, so let's try and freeze her. Nope, no dice. Alright, down here, she doesn't have any damage on her, so we can just do a standard attack, and she might provoke, which would be good. So let's see if we can get the provoke here. And resisted. Oh, we lost one of our guys. But the cool thing is, he's still going to get experience. Whether he lives or dies, doesn't matter. As long as our main dude survives through to the end. Hey, look, speaking of our main dude, he gets his acid rain back up again. And boom. Done with round 2. Now we face the boss. We've lost our 4th companion. He's back behind. But he gets to go first. Now, she's got 2 minions with her. And again, we have the advantage on all 3 of them. So I'm just going to start working on one of the minions here with a basic attack. She doesn't have any damage on her yet, so we're going to go after the same minion. Still up. Alright, the boss attacks. Minion attack. Oh, lost. Okay, just the main dude left. Alright, going with the A3 Disintegrate. This could attack all of them. Alright, got the boss, got a poison down. Got our A2 back. Whew, these guys are tough. And our A1 to take out that minion. So now it's just the boss. And done. So you see, they all died. But they all got full experience. In fact, they went from level 1 to level 3. And we got some loot. One of the things we got was a pair of mystery shards, which we will use to summon more champions. And we'll talk about that coming up. And some silver. And this game is kind of weird. It doesn't use gold. I'm used to using gold as a standard. But this one is silver. So, you are now an expert in attacking with Kale. He's got some pretty good gear. It's not great, it's not amazing, but it's good for starting. And we'll go into that with our next video. I'm hoping you enjoyed this. It's again a very basic introduction to the game. There's a lot more to come, so stay tuned. And I'm working on getting a green screen set up and find other ways to make these videos even more interesting and fun. But I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you have any questions or suggestions, leave me a comment. I'd love to communicate with you and see what else we can put together. All right, take care.